Do we need to redefine the moral scope of the capitalistic system and the ethical values of business leaders? Should leaders have a code like lawyers and doctors? Hello, my name is Daniel Fowler, and I would like to share my thoughts on these questions. Well, what is ethics? Ask 100 people for a definition of what ethics means, and you'll probably get 100 different answers. Ethical behavior reflects the standards of a society and is based on equity, justice, the needs and rights of others, and a sense of obligation to society. While there are varying interpretations of ethics, we are talking about professional ethics. Many professions, such as lawyers and doctors, have their own specific code of ethics, which all members of those professions are expected to follow. I don't believe that a common code of ethics is required for companies and leaders to act responsibly. I believe that the ethical behavior of a company flows from the actions taken at the top. Whatever plans or words or principles are set up, if you don't follow them, they don't really mean much. Companies and leaders of companies should have a code that is visible to stakeholders and one that they adhere to. Ethical leadership really has two elements, action and leading. This should be evident in the way they treat people in everyday interactions, in their attitudes, and in the directions they establish for their organizations. Ethical leadership requires the clear framework that a leader can use when making decisions and taking actions. It is a framework that others in the organization clearly understand and they can use to do the same. While I don't believe there is a common regulated code of ethics, I do believe there are 4 common components of ethical leadership. First, put the good of others before your own interests. Next, minimize the negative impacts of actions. Third, be respectful, inclusive, and culturally sensitive. Fourth and last, transparent communication on the impacts of not being ethical. In summary, yes, I believe in an ethical code of conduct, but I don't think there is a need for a universal code for all business and leaders to follow. There are common elements that should be captured by each business, and these should be shared with all stakeholders, because they are the ones who should judge the merits of the code based on societal norms. Leadership is a privilege and responsibility that is demanding for those that are in that role. Ethical behavior is important in personal and professional action because leaders are role models. They set the tone for acceptable behavior in their organization and for the larger community. A leader must have a consistent ethical framework to guide decisions and actions in all situations. Ethical leaders foster an environment of openness and honesty. They build a culture that urges communication, collaboration, and cultural awareness. This transparency and inclusiveness is the driving force for ethical behavior in all companies and in society at large. Thank you.